Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip, and I want to talk to you shooters out there about ammo. It would be nice if everybody could afford the best ammo for their firearms all the time. No, I don't mean the most expensive, I simply mean the best. And the best is it's reliable and it's accurate. And I've got a video on that, I'll put it in the description below. But I'm talking about why would you want to buy cheap ammo when you really want the best ammo? Well, there are times that maybe the cheap ammo is a better option. I see too many people going to the range and all they do is they sit up in a perfect situation. They're sitting at a firing range bench and they're waiting for the wind to die down and they have a chance to practice their breathing and they fire and they only do one thing. They just put rounds down range. And they think, look at that, I got a 1.5 inch group at 300 yards. Good for me. Well, yeah, good for you. But all you're doing is shooting. Are you really practicing? What I mean by this is practicing actually handling your firearm. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're shooting a rifle or a pistol. A lot of these will apply for reasons why you want to use cheap ammo. For instance, and I had to make some notes here because I'm sure I'm going to forget some things, so I wrote some notes down. If you're carrying a pistol, are you practicing drawing, firing, and reholstering? You're not interested in how big your group is on the target. You are interested in that visceral feeling of the firearm actually reacting. Yes, you can pull your pistol out and put it back, and pull it out and put it back. But until you actually fire it, you're just practicing the movement. That's fine, but it would be nice to be able to just pull it out, put 3 or 4 rounds downrange, and put it back. Same thing with a rifle on a sling. If you're carrying a rifle on a sling, are you bringing that rifle around and putting it into a position where you're ready to fire and then put it back? How many people actually practice that? Very few people. And if you practice this with cheap ammo, you can save some money. For pistol, are you practicing two-handed? Are you practicing one-handed? Are you practicing strong-handed? Are you practicing weak-handed, both one and two-handed? Very few people practice that. I'm right-handed, and I still go to the range, and I practice shooting a firearm left-handed, either a rifle or a pistol, both one and two-handed. These are things that I practice. You can practice reacquisition of the target after the firearm recoils. Every firearm has some recoil, and if yours really jumps, are you practicing bringing that firearm back down into position? Like I say, you're not interested in getting small groups downrange. You're just interested in the motion of practicing handling that firearm. Multiple positions. Most people go to the range, they either sit at a table, they got their rifle out, they're on a bench, and they've got a lead sled or they've got a bipod, and they're just sitting there in the perfect conditions. And yeah, you're putting range, shots down range. But what about what about standing? Even if standing and holding a pistol, most people have a preferred method of holding the pistol and their stance. They have a preferred method. But are you practicing other methods? Because when it comes time to actually use your firearm for the reason you purchased it, are you going to be able to have that posture, have that stance? Maybe not. Maybe you have to stand to shoot a rifle and you've only shot it from a bench. You're going to be kind of lost. What about crouching, kneeling, prone, even laying on your side? Are you able to fire that firearm laying on your right side, laying on your left side? Are you able to do that? Can you accurately handle that firearm while you're moving? Maybe you have to walk. Maybe you have to run. Maybe you're retreating, trying to create space between you and an assailant. These are reasons why you want to practice with the cheap ammo. Unusual firing positions and grips is another reason. If you have a handgun that you're using for self-defense, yeah, you may want to have it out here. But sometimes in close quarters, you don't want to put that gun right in your assailant's face. You take it away from you. So you want to be able to shoot from here. Other unusual situations, like I say, crouching, kneeling, prone, laying on your side. Suppose you're in a active shooter situation where you've taken cover and you've got some cover here, and you've got, you can kind of look up and see your assailant, but you don't want to bring your gun up here, but you can fire from down here. How many people actually practice firing a handgun from here and here or here and here. How many people actually do that? Learn to count your rounds fired. That's something a lot of people don't do. I've seen so many people go bang, 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 click, and then they look at it like something wrong, and that's like, oh, slide's back, locked back. I'm out of ammo. Learn to count your rounds. Reloading is another one. It doesn't matter whether it's a handgun, whether it's a semi-automatic or a revolver or a rifle. Count your rounds. How many rounds does that firearm actually hold? 10, 15, 20? How many? 30? Learn to count them. Because in a firefight, you may get to a situation where you're down, let's say it's a 30-round magazine in an AK or an AR, and you're in a firefight, and you're down to 28 rounds, and you have a lull, and you realize the other guy's, my assailant, is reloading. Don't think, well, I got 2 rounds left in here, I better use them up. No, that's when you want to reload, is when he's reloading. Learn trigger and muzzle discipline. Learning how to shoot after your left eye, your right eye, or your dominant or your weak eye, I should say, or both eyes. There's people who advocate one or the other, or both, or sometimes all three. Learning how to do that. Learning how to control your breathing. Learning flashlight drills. These are all things you can do with the cheap ammo. Again, you're not interested in making sure that you have this little teeny group on the target. You're just learning how to handle that firearm, going through the muscle memory, and you're using that cheap ammo to get that visceral feeling of that firearm actually going off. You hear the sound, you see the flash, you smell the smoke, and that's how you practice that, is with the cheap ammo. Then once you get that muscle memory down, then put in the good ammo and use that to put your shots on target and practice getting your smaller and smaller groups. A couple other things I thought of because I knew I was going to forget them off the list. Number one, I'm not talking about cheap ammo into the point that you have to spend hours disassembling, not just field stripping, but disassembling your firearm because it's fouled up so bad. Don't get that cheap of an ammo. Get ammo that still goes bang and doesn't foul it up, so just a standard cleaning will do. The other thing is, if you have cheap ammo, you may come across more failure to feeds, failure to fire, failure to eject, double feed, stovepiping, things like this. The mechanical issues may crop up a little bit more often with your cheap ammo than with your good ammo. And if you stick with just good ammo and you never practice learning how to recognize these mechanical malfunctions, you may not know how to react to them. So by having the cheap ammo where it can expose yourself to these problems, you'll be better and able to actually, when you're in the field or whatever reason you bought your firearm for, when you bring it to bear for the reason you purchased it for, and you have those issues, you'll be able to better address them and take care of them and keep on shooting. So with all that, this is Backpack Hack with this trail tip for you shooters out there. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out there on the trail.